Hi, Half Centenarians. Let me just tell you, we are still in the DMV. We're in Maryland right now, and I want you to lean into this because we have Dr. Geoffrey Varner, who's here as an ER doctor, but he's also here as an author. More importantly, he's trying to get us to save our lives using the COVID vaccine, and he's also trying to help us get our black men, our children, home alive as well. So he has so much important information for us right now. Even with he has an attitude, he has personality, so it's just going to be so important for you to tune into it. I have my lemonade. I'm ready to go. Stay tuned. Oh my God, so good. It's all right, Dr. Varner. We are so happy to have you here with us today. I am in the DMV still, and we are here with a COVID ER doctor. We have so many avenues. He's an author, doctor, traveler, all of that great stuff. But I, am pretty much still in this thunder, so I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Varner and let him introduce himself formally to you guys. So welcome, Dr. Varner, to the show. Please introduce yourself and kind of let us into your world.
Oh, great. First of all, thank you very much for having me. Love the setup. Love the place. Top notch.
All right.
I'm Dr. Geoffrey Varner. I'm a crisis and split-second decisions expert. I go around the world. I teach experts, executives, how to manage crisis and how to make decisions. I'm also an ER doctor, so I still practice. But most importantly, I am a father of an 18-year-old girl and of a 15-year-old boy.
All right.
And so that is really my full-time job. Mm-hmm. And this extra stuff just kind of makes life go around for me.
A little bit easier.
Yes.
It's a diversion. All right. So it's a diversion. So you mentioned that you have kids and that you are an ER doctor, and I know that you have your DoctorSavingLivescom. So you speak, you work in ER, you saving lives. And you mentioned earlier when we were talking that you talked about 2 million people a week, right? Mm-hmm. About what?
So, COVID's been here for about 12 months now. We thought it was going to be here for a few months. Mm-hmm. But it all started off with me teaching my mom and her friends about COVID because although my mom has a PhD and she's really sharp, the media was messing it up that it was throwing her off. So I started doing these lives. Next thing I know, I was doing lives and had 500 people getting on these lives. And then the news started to reach out to me. Then radio stations started to reach out to me. And the next thing I know, I am a regular on many programs.
Nice. See, it parlayed itself into something else.
It sure did.
That's why you never know. Did you set out to do that?
I did not.
Let's see.
In fact, I even tried to pull back because it was interfering with my business.
Okay. Well, now it's gotten your name out there, but I'm sure that wasn't a problem before that. But it's something that took an artery that kind of went on its own way and kind of just now is going to give you some more life. It kind of keeps you moving forward. So let's say I want to ask you this, because I know we've heard about COVID and I don't think that we can hear about it enough. But can you give us like a couple of things that you talk about on your lives that'll kind of keep us sharp and, up to speed, especially with vaccines coming out, all of the things we hear. Can you dispel some myths? Possibly?
Yes. Some are very clear. One of them is that people just need to recognize that this vaccine and all the trials, it's 100% effective, all three of them, against preventing death. 100% effective. I mean, if you get vaccinated, you will not die from COVID. People are getting caught up into this 72% effective, 94% effective. It's 100% effective at preventing death.
Okay.
The second part of this is that people need to recognize that we can get COVID right now. I can get COVID now and be dead in 14 days. I can get COVID now and do just fine, but end up with long haul COVID, which means I have difficulty breathing for the rest of my life. I may have brain fog for the rest of my life. And for the ladies, you may lose your hair. What is my point? You can get vaccinated now and be protected and not have COVID, or you can take your odds at COVID. It makes no sense.
Right. Yeah, I hear a lot of people who say, and I can just say I was one that was like, I really don't need that vaccine, and I'm just gonna ride it out. But after hearing a lot of people talk about it, and then now with being out, people are asking, have you been vaccinated? And so that's kind of made me be more aware that, you know what, this might make it a little bit safer, calmer for people who really need me to be vaccinated, because Half Centenarians, we're on that side where we, you know, our systems are changing and all of that. So do you have a kind of difference between a male-female response to COVID or anything like that, vaccines?
Well,
that you talked
males
about?
tend to do worse if they get COVID. But let's just go back to your original point. Earlier, we were talking that you are an international traveler, right? Mm-hmm. When you go to certain countries, do they require you to have certain vaccinations?
Yeah.
Where we will likely move to in this country, that you will be required to have a vaccination, maybe even before you get on a national flight, a flight within the states. There will be some companies that may say, hey, you can't come in here unless you are vaccinated. Let's look at what happened in Texas and Mississippi. While those governors said, no mask required, what did the private industry do? They said, no. In order for you to come into our business, you've got to have a mask on. The point is, we are moving. It's better to get in front of this vaccination and be vaccinated and be safe. And then one more point, the variants. We don't know what's going to happen with these variants.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to be caught out there and this virus mutates and we all of a sudden have a variant that has a high death rate.
Right.
It's better to be vaccinated now and be safer now.
Well, I mean, that's a good segue into the next thing that I wanted to talk to you about, which could be part of your purpose. So the first question is, who are you? But the second one is, you know, what do you feel like you are, you know, what is your purpose? What, not vibrancy or anything like that, but what makes you tick? What makes you get up and say, you know what, this is what I want to do, and help people in this manner? So what would you say that is related to all of the different things and facets of your life?
You mind if I tell this in a story format?
I do. No, I'm just kidding.
I won't then.
No.
So
Go for
what
it.
you may not be able to tell was I grew up a congenital stutter. Cannot speak a complete sentence without stuttering until I was 33 years old.
You said 33?
33 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so what that did is it allowed me to hide in plain daylight. What that means is I'm clearly a black male. But as a stutterer, the teachers wanted to look out for you. They wanted to protect you. And so race wasn't an issue for me because I was their guy that they wanted to look out for. And so when I walked into a room, I wasn't looking at color. I was looking at who's likely in here who's going to tease me for my stuttering. So it changed my outlook, even as it relates to a race. Now, having said that, don't be confused. I'm not saying I'm one of those people who I don't see color. I'm not saying that at all.
Right.
Which leads me to my passion. My primary passion is about black boys and saving black boys. In fact, my first book, it's called Home Alive, 11 Month Steps for Surviving Encounters with the Police. It was a bestseller. Grandparents and older parents love the book. People who are younger, 20, 25 years, they can't stand the book. Because the whole point of the book is to get home alive. No matter how, it's not about your feelings.
Right.
It's not about what you think.
Right.
On the side of the road, I'm going to speak to as I tell my son, when you get pulled over, what you think, how you feel.
Yeah. Bring it down.
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
If you get home alive, Daddy can fix you.
Yeah.
And we can fix anything that happened during that stop.
Absolutely.
Right now, that officer has that power. Give it to him. And just know,
that
I promise
is so
you.
important.
I promise you, you get home to Daddy, we're going to take care of whatever went wrong. So it's all about helping black boys make decisions.
Oh, right.
But I have parlayed that into teaching executives how to make decisions. So that funds my purpose. And my purpose is that I think that every black boy should be a doctor. Every black boy should be a doctor. I didn't say a doctor, lawyer, so forth, because we're just naturally good at the sciences.
So how do your trips to Egypt and all of that kind of gave you some enlightenment, and along with what you've done in your career, how do you get that across to young black boys that, you know, let's focus on science because that's where your strengths are?
So that's a great question. So as you talked about earlier, I'm an ER doctor. So I'm known for cutting to the chase. But part of being an ER doctor, when I walk into the room to see you as a patient, believe it or not, I should know before I even talk to you whether I'm going to admit you or discharge you. Just based upon reading you, maybe you will say a couple words. What that does, it teaches me to read people. Now, this is the part that upsets people. Every person in this world is not meant to be saved the way that I want to save them. So I can easily target those black boys who I think, okay, we can make this happen. And you can have a criminal record. It's just something that I've learned. In fact, one little small subtlety about me is I have a 100% success rate of mentoring people into medical school.
Wow.
Meaning that if I decide I'm going to mentor you, it's going to work. Now, mind you, in fairness, there's many people I say, hey, you may have a 4.2 and be doing A, B, and C, but this is not going to work.
Right.
And you may have a 2.7, and this may work because you've got that oomph in you.
Yeah. And so talk to us about your medical school. Where do you go? Where did you go to medical school? And then do you send your people to that medical school to kind of keep that going, keep that pipeline?
Hold on. You can't go right to medical school. The most important part in there.
Well, no, I'm just saying, do you focus in, I guess you're right.
It's Hampton.
So talk to me.
Hampton's the most important part in there.
Okay.
Without Hampton, all this other stuff does not happen. In fact,
you got to get through there to get there. Is
absolutely.
that correct?
In
Okay.
fact, when I do interviews, people always want to mention the Harvard part. And I said, hold on now. Without Hampton.
But I didn't even know you went to Harvard. See, so now I really thought you were at Howard. So
no,
worked at
I did my residency there, and I was the chair.
That's
there.
that's what I saw.
And I was the chair there. But I'm an HBCU grad. Both of my sisters went.
All right.
My nieces and nephews went. My daughter was just accepted there, and not just an HBCU. Let's get this right. Hampton.
Can we Southern University? How about that?
All right, cool. All right.
We're going HBCU, Bali.
Hey, as long as
it's HBCU, I love it.
So you understand the whole
I
HBCU?
do.
It's almost a cult. I will give people that.
Yes.
Hey.
And it should be. Sometimes
Absolutely.
it was drying up for a second. So
right. In fact, I was at Harvard. The dean gave a big talk, and she said, "My strongest students come from HBCUs."
That's right.
And so I went up to her afterwards because I must have missed it. I thought she meant to say my strongest black students. I said, "Did you mean to say my strongest black?" She goes, "No."
Yeah.
She said, "My strongest students come from HBCUs." That was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So I was like,
right. You focus your kids, your mentees, Hampton University, get that pipeline going, and then possibly Harvard, then possibly Howard,
Yes.
But the first inroad is at HBCU.
That's the first inroad.
That's right. That's
Absolutely.
good. And so let me segue into that. So that was a split-second decision for you to say that and get them ready to go to school like that. So let's talk about these wonderful bestsellers that you have, and how do you get corporations and those conversations with people that really need to be making these. How have you taken your ER experience and really supported what you're doing with the book and whatever else you're doing with it? Talk to us about that.
I parlayed my ER experience and my crisis experience, because this is not my first crisis. I think it's my third crisis, and have created a framework for how to go about making decisions.
Yeah.
In other words, we make about 35,000 decisions every day. Most of them are mundane, such as what to wear, what color tie, what to eat. They don't even matter. But about 1 to 2% of those are life-changing and life-altering, and most of those are split-second decisions. So I've created a framework called the TLC framework, and I don't mean tender loving care. It's a framework when you have a T, a time constraint, L, a lack of information, or C, critical consequences. When you have that, then you know that you're about to make a split-second decisions. And training your brain for that will help you be a better leader, because you're a better decision maker as well.
Right. They had some really cool points in here. And one of the quotes that I remember you saying was, or it's in the book that I kind of captured, was that not only do we, I thought was really striking, that we make about 35,000 decisions a day, but you said the biggest thing about making a decision is you have to be, then whether that decision works out or not, you have to be immediately ready to make the next decision.
Absolutely.
So we don't think about it in that context because, like you said, most of them are mundane. With all of these great things that you have going on in your world, how would you tell us now that you are living your best life?
I am living my best life because I live my life like with my purpose in mind, meaning that my schedule is based upon my life. My work is based upon my life, not my life based upon my work. So there's no one who can call me and say, there's no one who can call me and say, where are you?
One more time, first of all.
There's no one who can call me and say, where are you? Unless I've scheduled something.
No, say the schedule part again. I want to get that.
Oh, so my life is scheduled around my life, not around my work.
Like that.
Yeah. And it wasn't always that way.
I get it.
So for the first 45 years of my life, 50 years of my life, that's how it was. A schedule. Now I plan my vacation. I plan that stuff, and
then you put your work in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Put the important stuff in and then fill it in with the other stuff. I like that.
Absolutely. But
Family, all of that.
as you know, part of it is just making sure that you save your money well.
That's right.
Save your money well.
That's right. And plan for that.
Plan for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing about, that's a decision you made. Like, I decided I don't want to do this anymore.
Yes.
I don't want people calling me going, where are you?
Yeah, or question me about, well, why did you do this? Because I wanted to.
It's in my life. Yeah.
Right.
And my life is my plan. Yes. And that's one of the best answers I've probably received, because I'm living my best life because my life is what I do.
Yes.
Yeah. My life is what I do. And with that in mind, your life and what you've done so far, you're now helping other people do that really well. Split-second decision making, just, home alive, making sure your young men get home and make it home safely. So if you could leave us with something, like what is an elevator statement that you'd say about yourself and how your life is at this moment?
I say that we're all here to change the world. Why? Because the world needs to be changed, and it's the right thing to do. And we all have our role in that.
Yes. And I just want to say thank you so much. This has been very eye-opening. Just things that you probably would consider practical that I never heard quite put that way. So thank you, Dr. Varner, for your time. This has, again, been the DMV's finest. We have come in, talked to Dr. Varner about how to make good decisions, how to just get our kids home safely. Thank you so much for sharing your life with us. And I hope that you guys will check out his books, check out his Facebook Lives. When are they?
They are Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays are Medical Mondays, and Fridays are Freestyle Fridays.
Okay. What time?
It varies, but I usually post it 24 hours.
Okay, there we go. So we have to follow him and make sure that we have our time set. Thank you again for sharing this wonderful information with us. We are so excited to have you, and it's been a privilege. Thank you for your time.
It's been my honor. Thank you very much.
Yes, you are so welcome. We will see you guys soon. And again, please check him out. There's a lot of great information out there. We weren't even aware that we didn't know. So take advantage of it. Thank you, guys. Hey, guys, I hope you loved and enjoyed that interview. We are here in the DMV. We have so many wonderful people that we are showcasing here. Even Einstein wants to tell you to tune in. And also, don't forget to like us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Follow us. Submit those 3 names of people that have inspired you. Could possibly be you. I look forward to seeing you guys. Thank you so much again for following us on this journey. Be safe, be careful, and we will see you soon.